Hey everybody, Felix Staffelbaker here. I wanted to make a video because I really believe that you're divesting fiat money whenever you acquire Bitcoin using fiat denominated currencies issued by central banks that are backed by nothing. And something that it always comes up, and it's important to talk about, and it's something that I'm still grappling with and trying to understand, but basically you have to take your profits in Bitcoin, and that doesn't make a lot of sense if you're owning Bitcoin. But the mindset has to be like, I was reading a little bit and came across some people who were in Germany during the 1930s, and there was basically a devaluation of everything, of the currency, and so these wealthy people bought a lot of gold in anticipation of that. You know, they were basically in the same kind of position we are. We see the financial system going to crash. We understand that it's about to happen. We're positioning ourselves and trying to get in the best spot that we can to maximize it, to make money, to not lose what we have, and to gain wealth. And a lot of people missed out because they just were fundamentally flawed in some of their actions, and it's because of their mindset. They were thinking in fiat money. They're in a fiat money world, and that's clown world. So you don't want to be a part of that. But basically in the 30s, people had accumulated gold like you would a savings account and all that stuff. Some people would have, just say, 100 ounces of gold. Well, everything started inflating, and they were money printing out the wazoo, and all the prices were going up. It was a commodities crazy run, and everything was exploding in price. Inflation was out of control, and basically they had this gold that was the hardest money at the time. They had it in their possession or in their bank or wherever they had it, and say they bought it for $100. I'm not quoting the prices from that time, but just say it was $100 an ounce, and they were accumulating it. Well, then the price goes to $10,000 an ounce, and that's in fiat terms. You still have the same amount of gold, you still have that bar, and it's just chilling. Well, there was a lot of people in this group that had all this money now, and everything else was going up in price. So, it was, and again, these are just me throwing out examples. I'm not throwing out prices that were happening, but if you were paying $5 for milk, and then you were paying $30 for milk, you have to understand that you need more money to buy the same thing, more fiat. So, at some point you would need, if only you were using gold, you would need to trade some of that in to be able to transact, and you would have to trade more of it in to be able to get the same amount of goods. But what people would do is, a couple of them is literally they would sell their gold for fiat. So if you had $100 gold that you bought, and now someone's willing to give you $10,000 for it, you're gonna hold the cash and be a rich boy and think that you're, a fat cat. And a lot of people did that, and they started accumulating all this cash and selling all their gold to the people who were working on, a new Bretton Woods. And several years later, that people, looking back, you can clearly see that was what was going on. It was a wealth confiscation from the general public to get all the hard money, and then they used that hard money to back the new system, and everybody had to work their way back up. And same thing is happening, I think, now. People are waiting for Bitcoin to go to 100,000, 200,000, $1 million, and then they want to sell their Bitcoin for fiat so that they can be, I guess, fiat rich. And I think that's the biggest mistake possible, because what's going to happen is you're selling it to people like BlackRock, you're selling it to people like Michael Saylor, you're selling it to people like central banks and all these people who have access directly to the money printing from the central bank. So they're getting free money, and then they're just immediately buying up real assets like Bitcoin, and you're selling it to them for nothing. And that's the type of thing where we go into the new system and a new Bretton Woods, like I've been talking about for a long time now. And then the same type of thing that happened before, the wealth gap grows because all of the people who had any amount of assets, any amount of wealth, gave it to all these people at pennies on the dollar, and then they started a new system with that, and now they're trying to basically lend to the peasants and all that stuff. So it's a really crazy game, and we're seeing it play out once again, and I don't think people understand that that's playing out. But you don't sell your Bitcoin, basically, because once you sell your Bitcoin, you'll always have to buy it back at a higher price. And you'll always get less Bitcoin that way, and you'll become Bitcoin poor, and there's really no such thing as being fiat rich. So it's even crazier. And I mean, think about, there's no reason to even buy gold. Like, there's just no reason to. So, I think that's something that people are not taking into account, and they're not appreciating, and they're going to really, really understand when they have nothing, and the corporations and everybody who's been telling everybody what they're going to do have everything, and then they set the rules. So you want to position yourself to be in the best possible situation going forward, and it's not to have fiat or sell your Bitcoin for fiat or anything like that. So I just want to put that out there. Stoffel Baker out.